Welcome back to another episode of the Fifth Quarter Podcast. I'm your host, Marcus Jones, the Bluff City Cowboy, coming to you live from Memphis, Tennessee. And we are back on a Victory Wednesday where the Dallas Cowboys defeated the Philadelphia Eagles in a game that nobody other than Cowboys fans thought we would pull off.
Philly fans or Philly only known for their sandwiches, in the words of George Pickens.
So yeah, this is a great day to come and talk about a down to the wire game. Probably one of the best games we've seen the team play in the past 10 years. Got a lot to talk about with that game, and then we also have a great game tomorrow afternoon where the Dallas Cowboys try to go on a streak. So this will be the third straight possible win against the Kansas City Chiefs on Turkey Day. So we got a lot to talk about with that. Got a lot of key matchups lined up for you guys to talk about. But before that, we will talk about this week's game. And joining me is the co-owner of the DC4L network, Miss Amanda Foster. Thank you for joining back-to-back weeks for such a great Wednesday afternoon.
How could I miss today? Like, what a day. Man, I remember the comments we were getting last week. I got to sit here to serve. What's up, Jack? Yes, that is the goal, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Love it. So thank you, Jack Mika, for joining us. Also, question the answers. Thank you for joining us as well on YouTube. For those of you that are joining, if you're joining on YouTube, you get a chance, go check us out on Facebook at DC4L. Got a great page. The page was extremely active this week. So if you want to come and just have a safe space to celebrate with other Cowboys fans, come over and join us. A lot of prizes, a lot of giveaways, a lot of knowledge in that group. So if you're a fan who just wants to learn more about football as well as the Cowboys, join us on the DC4L page. There's always a great conversation going on. Also, we have a YouTube channel as well, DC4L. So go on YouTube, type in DC4L, hit that subscribe button. And while you're there, find me at Bluff City Cowboys. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube as well. And also, I see the views are going up pretty fast. So for those of you watching on Facebook and YouTube, hit that like button also. Let's get those likes to match those views. Thank you guys for watching, and everybody that's watching on X. At some point, come over to YouTube or Facebook. Let us know that you are a viewer from X so that we can give you a shout out. This is an interactive show, and we love hearing everybody's thoughts and opinions.
It's so funny, Jack. I don't even know. For the first time ever, we started sending random voice messages in the DC4L admin chat, and all of us were just screaming very loud at one another. It was a very emotional second half for the admin team. Marcus was there. We were having fun.
That was an emotional first quarter.
I don't know if we'd call it emotional. I quit.
There were a lot of emotions.
Look, I didn't quit watching.
Good.
I didn't quit watching. I had the game on, but I started making like food. I started cooking. So now the admin team thinks I need to make fudge every time we start losing. Man, it was a game.
It was. All right, James Davis, thank you for joining us as well. And for all of you other people that are watching, be sure to get in comments. Let us know who you are, where you're from, how long you've been a Cowboys fan, who your favorite player is, or just any general questions or comments about football or the Dallas Cowboys. For those of you who do watch, you know this is just as much an informative show as an entertaining show. Amanda and I both have a lot of general football knowledge, so if you have a question, feel free to ask. If we don't know it, we'll definitely look it up and get it back to you. So let's go ahead and jump in. I know this is the night before Thanksgiving, so don't want to hold you guys too late. But let's start off with our game recap of last week's game against the Philadelphia Eagles.
Game recap.
All right, so as you guys know, tough, hard-fought match. The Dallas Cowboys beat the Philadelphia Eagles by a score of 24-21. It was a tale of two halves. The first half, well, in particular, the first quarter, the Cowboys couldn't do anything right. We had costly penalties, we had turnovers, we had boneheaded plays, and the Eagles just capitalized on every one of them. And then at some point, around the 4-minute mark in the second quarter to the end of the game, the switch just came on for Dallas, and they kicked it into high gear the rest of the way. So I'm going to give you guys a couple of my offensive notes and my defensive notes, and Amanda, feel free to chime in at any point that you like. We'll start with offense first. I mean, back-to-back games. Pickens is completely in the zone. If you guys followed us this offseason, Amanda and I both told everybody Pickens was going to be a major factor on this team. Do not worry about what you saw with the Steelers. We had people telling us there's no way there's going to be enough targets to make Pickens actively involved. Pickens is going to be a malcontent. And we told you guys, different climate, different environment, we're going to see the best of him. And the past 3 weeks, past 2 in particular, he's been – it's not even arguable. He's been the best receiver in the NFL the past 3 weeks.
Yeah. Which is a great thing, but also financially not the greatest thing, but yeah. I'll take it. I don't care at this point.
Yeah. And I'll talk about the contract in a second too, so we get in that in a second.
Back up the Brinks truck.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, and we'll talk about this. There's really not a number we can't pay and it won't hurt the cap because we have flexibility. We talked about this last week. We have flexibility with the restructures. And we have the flexibility with cutting high-priced players because we already have capable backups who can step in those positions.
Yeah.
We can clear $40 million by 3 restructures, or we can clear $40 million with 3 cuts. Either way, we can make the money happen. James Davis, longtime Cowboy fan, favorite player, Emmitt Smith, thank you for joining. Point number 2. I don't know what it's been about Lamb, but he's been up and down since he came back. I don't know what do you think it is? Go ahead.
I think it's Pickens.
You think so? You think he's pressing?
I don't. I think they're great friends, and I don't think CD would ever make it known. But I think CD doesn't like. Okay, so when he was in Oklahoma, when CD was the guy, CD played exceptionally well. But when they started getting people that started taking some of that target share that could catch the ball, if you're a Sooner fan, you know he started having similar issues. There's just something about the way, maybe it's the way his brain works. I don't understand it myself, but I think he's nervous, which he has no reason to be. He ain't going nowhere. Mm-hmm. But I think he thinks George Pickens is making him look a little pedestrian.
So you think he's just trying to press and do too much and losing focus and concentration?
Yeah, I mean, if you notice the way he's trying to catch the ball even, I went back and looked at a few of the clips before George and after, and if you look, he's trying to do things George does.
That's a great point.
I mean, if you look, it really is. It's almost like he's trying to emulate what's going on, but that's not CeeDee Lamb style. That's Pickens style. Mm-hmm. Because he wants to, and I don't mean that hatefully. He's got to get out of his own head too. There's enough for both of you. We throw the ball enough in this system. There's plenty of ball to go around.
And we have nobody else to catch it but those two.
Oh, I mean, you've got like a Flournoy who's helpful, but they feed off each other. Neither of them would have the success they're having if it wasn't for the other, right?
Absolutely.
So it's just CD's in his own head. And I've noticed that he's trying to do things that he typically didn't do before. And I think he's really just trying to showboat in an effort to remind people, hey, I'm here. Mm-hmm. But making himself they look, well, hey, quit trying to say, hey, I'm here. We know you're there. Just catch the dang ball.
Yeah.
So
I see we got Special Poston joining us, another longtime viewer. Thank you for joining. Wayne Wells looks like a new name. So Wayne Wells, thank you for joining us tonight as well. We're not saying anything's wrong with Lamb. We're just saying something looks off. He's been inconsistent lately. I see we got Charlie joining us. established the pass. Said he's rewatching the Eagles game right now. But yeah, that's a great game to rewatch if you can get past that first quarter. But yeah, this game had a lot in it. Let me go back to my offensive notes really quick. So outside of the what did I mean on this number 3? The offense just looks unstoppable. I mean, if you look at the 2 wide receivers.
I think you're talking about like putting Turpin in the running back position, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you meant? Okay.
Exactly, yeah. Outside of wide receivers and running back, yeah. So, I mean, both our wide receivers are catching everything. Jake Ferguson's making key plays when he needs to make key plays on third downs and touchdowns. And Javonte Williams has been top 5 running back in the NFL when this offseason most fans thought he would be a backup type guy.
Yep.
But if they stop putting these receivers in the backfield, it would cut out a lot of our problems. I mean, I love Turpin. I get the thought process because Turpin is a great return type guy.
Yeah.
But run a jet sweep, run a reverse, run a quick hitch. Don't put him in the backfield and have him run it from behind the offensive line because
it was like McCarthy running Tony Pollard up the middle all the dang time. Turpin ain't big enough to be trying to go through a Jalen Carter. And who else is on that line?
I mean, he fumbled hitting our guy. He's not used to being behind big linemen.
I didn't realize he fumbled hitting. That's even worse.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Yeah. If you want to get a fast guy back there, activate Jaden Blue and let him run it. I mean, he may fumble too based off his Texas history, but at least you got a running back in the backfield.
There's something up with that too. That's really awkward.
I mean, Malik Davis is a better running back right
and
now.
Where's Maffa?
That's the $1 million question. You could just thank Jerry for that one. I mean, he loves to play these games with injured reserve. So at first, Maffa went out. You gave Miles Sanders a chance. He's a veteran. You don't want to cut him.
Then he got hurt.
He gets hurt. And then instead you gave Blue a 1 week shot. Didn't look too well. And then it's Malik Davis. I don't know. Who would be the guy to cut to get Moff on the roster would be the question.
I mean, Jalen Tolbert. Sorry.
That would be the ideal cut, but I don't think they would do it.
I can't believe they made him inactive. I was shook. I was like, whoa. All right, Flo. Flo's taking that spot. There ain't nobody taking that spot. And as long as we keep Pickens heading into next year, we are set at wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Solid.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, and we don't need Schoonmaker anymore either. There you go. You can cut him. We got Brevy.
You can't cut a second round pick. I mean, you can let him go next year and trade him, but that would be an ugly cut.
So, what's he done except miss the catch? I mean, look, what was it? They threw it at Schoon there. I think it was in the first quarter, and he dropped it.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, but I mean, just for the value, that would be a hard cut to deal with. You can maybe try to convince him to do the R thing to bring Maffa back, but that would be a tough cut. Point number 4, this was, like I said before, the toughest offensive performance I've seen in 10 years. If you guys ever get a chance, make sure you start watching Sounds from the Sidelines every week.
Wow.
Always super entertaining, always informative. One thing I noticed from this one that stood out, people try to say Dak's not a leader.
Wow.
Dak held everybody accountable the entire game on every drive.
Yeah.
If it was good, he's high-fiving guys saying keep it up. If it's bad, he's high-fiving guys saying let's keep it steady here. Let's not get out of our heads. We're still in the game. What we're doing works. We just got to lock in. He did it the whole game.
And he's been doing it all season. There is
Been doing it, yeah.
something different about Dak Prescott this year. I love sounds from the sidelines. It's one of my favorite things. I make people leave me alone when I watch it because, like, I get chill bumps sometimes. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I get excited watching that. But there is something different about Dak Prescott this year.
Yeah.
His leadership it's always been good, but it's at a different level than it ever has been. And watching him get in, and I noticed too, at one point in the beginning of the sounds of the sidelines, he grabs the tablet, the Surface, from one of the coaches and goes and sits down. I
Yeah.
think it was with CD, and starts showing him, look, you ran the wrong. You can tell he's showing him you ran the wrong dang route. You can see it in his face. It's impressive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of that is coming from given more responsibility by the head coach. Because I feel like in years past, old school guys like McCarthy and Jason Garrett, they just wanted stuff done their way, and they wanted Dak to be the system guy. And now it looks like Dak's starting to consistently put in his input.
Yeah.
Because if you go back to years past, the team will look great for 2 or 3 weeks. You see Dak at the line making checks, and then for 9 weeks, it disappears. Hadn't happened this year. Dak's been consistently doing the same thing he did in week 12 as he did in week 1, and I love it. He's definitely been on fire. Let's see. Looks like you had a couple other new names. Jason Layton. We've seen you a couple of times. Thank you for coming back. Ashley Rollins Jacobs. Thank you for joining us as well. Dak has definitely been on fire so far this year. Last point offensively, O-line played tough. I mean, this was a very talented defensive front. Tyler Booker, while I mean, he did get beaten a couple of times, but considering the caliber of player he was going against, this was his best game of the year. Like he for the most part held Jalen Carter in check. Super impressive by him. And then had the injury. Nathan Thomas came in and held down the fort. Tyler Guyton, before he got hurt, was by far his best game of the year. Hands and feet, everything was technically sound. And then everybody else was just kind of par for the course in terms of Booker and Tyler Smith. So great offensive line play overall. I mean, the offense has been humming. They're starting to try to mix in other guys in the past couple of weeks with the Lepke's and the Flournoys and Brevin Spanford, like Amanda just mentioned a few minutes ago.
Brevy.
So when you have a team like this with the type of talent you have at the top, and then you have role players who aren't afraid of the moment, because that was a big play that Brevin Spanford made.
I
That
didn't
was almost
realize
a game-turning play, yeah.
Look, I did not realize how big he
Yeah.
was until they had that back shot from the end zone behind him catch. I said, man, he's tall.
Yeah.
What is he, 6'6"?
6'7". 6'7", 260.
He's huge.
Yeah.
Like, why use him more? Like, that's a cheat code if I ain't ever seen one.
If you watch Sounds of the Sidelines, did you catch the note where Dak said, I hope you don't, I'm glad you didn't fall this time?
Yeah.
Did you catch that?
Yeah.
That might be the reason they don't use him.
That
He's so
might be
big, he
it.
can't stay on his feet.
Oh, we're going to get there, Jack. That is probably my favorite play from the whole game. I have never seen something. I like what he said in the interview, too. Ain't nobody from Philly going to put their hands on me like that.
Yep. Love that. William Wiggins. Yeah. By the end of the game, Carter was tired. They were working him out.
Yeah.
So yeah. They made no halftime adjustments. Absolutely. I mean, they scored all their touchdowns off of bad plays by us. So it's not like they played a great game at the beginning. They just took advantage of our mistakes. If to be honest, going back and looking at that game, if not for our mistakes in the first quarter, we would have probably beat them by 15, by 10 or 15. It wouldn't have been close.
We were shooting ourselves in the foot the whole day. That's the only reason they were having any success at all. I'm sorry, I'm not impressed with Philly. I'm just not impressed with that team. If you are good, you don't let a team that, as they say, 5-5. You're still 5-5. Well, took you to church.
Yep. So yeah,
So
Charlie's already calling Brevin Spanford the next Darnell Washington from Pittsburgh.
uh-oh.
You know, Darnell Washington, the big tight end from Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
He came in the league at 270. Now he said he's 311. And they just bulldoze people on the offensive line.
Yeah.
Brevin Spanford could get there, but he looks like he's in much better shape than Darnell Washington. But yeah, he definitely could have a second career in a couple of years if we can keep him around as a tackle, because he's a great blocker, amazing blocker.
He is.
All right, let's go to the defensive notes, and then we'll hit that special teams play. Overall, defense played a dominant game, even down 21-0. Like I said, they got one touchdown off of what should have been a semi-block kick, but they gave him the penalty. The offense gave the team 2 short fields on back-to-back plays. So the guys came out there, they're a little bit gassed, and the Eagles took advantage of it. So outside of that, when it was just a regular flow of the game where the offense moves the ball and the defense comes out and they're somewhat refreshed, Eagles could do nothing with them. I mean, from front to back. The corners really stepped up. I know A.J. Brown had a couple of big catches earlier in the game, going against Siobhan Revel. After midway through the second quarter, the young guys kind of calmed down and they handled their business. And while I'm on this point, something I noticed in this game, I know in the weeks past, we talked about how bad the scheme was and how guys were playing off. This was probably the first week that I noticed that we didn't play off 7 yards the entire game. So that kind of makes me feel like, and I have to watch this Chiefs game to confirm it, it makes me feel like a lot of that was because Eberflus had no faith in the corners that were on the field. Because now we got Revel and Carson, and those guys are pressing. And they pressed pretty much the whole game. And it could be faith in the corners. It could be faith in the pass rush. I don't know. But the corners are really stepping up, playing physical, playing tough. You're right, William Wiggins. They could be better. But considering they're young guys, and this was probably the best receiving core they've played so far this year, I think they played extremely well. Quinnen just completely wrecked the passing game in the second half. I know you guys have heard this a lot, talking about that 5-man front we've been running, where they've basically got a hat on a hat, 5 D linemen going against 5 offensive linemen and allowing Quinnen Williams to play one-on-one. Well, he's just destroying guys. He had 8 pressures as a nose tackle this week. After having what do you have, 6 last week?
6.
Exactly. Like Jay Meeker said, you can't say it's just the Raiders. He had 8 pressures. When they did try to sit in a second guy over there, you see guys like Osa just going completely unblocked. Free pass to the quarterback. You see guys like Donovan keeping Jalen Hurts in the pocket because he's not getting that extra chip. It's just completely changed the way we play our games. And one of the best things I've seen is our linebackers kept Hurt honest. He didn't have running lanes. They did a great job of getting back in their zone and covering the tight ends while at the same time flowing with Jalen Hurts to keep him in the pocket.
I want to make a note. I want to make sure everyone heard. So you heard what the speech was at halftime, right, Marcus?
I saw you guys mention in the chat. Quinnen Williams made some speech.
So apparently, now of course we're not in the locker room. We don't know, but apparently the people that got up and started firing up. So they split the teams. They had offense on one side, defense on the other.
Okay.
Dak and Shoddy were handling the offense. Now, on the other side, Matt Eberflus apparently was sitting there and said, "Get him." And Overshone and Quinnen Williams just start laying into everybody, saying this team. One of the things that was noted, one of the players said it in their interview, was that they said, it's really amazing because Quinnen's only been here for a little bit of time, but he's already that veteran presence in the locker room that is really making a difference. And he said something about the offense has pulled. Overshone said the offense has pulled this team for too long. It's time for us to give them our help. And I don't know. Apparently, it worked. Clearly,
Yeah, I love that.
I mean, what a turnaround. If you would have told me I wouldn't have believed it. Not at halftime.
Yeah.
But they never gave up. That's something that this team has not had. Usually that's a blowout. We've seen it time and time again.
Yeah.
When we came out there and started, I remember saying it in the chat. It was 21-14. I said, "Whoa, we got a game." So we got a game now. And then it was like 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes later, and it's a tie game, and it's like, whoa. Well, this is different. And Philly fans crying on the sidelines or in the stand. You got Jake Elliott standing there like, what are we? The perfect photos, hands on his cheeks, like, what is going on? Just absolutely mighty impressive. And I hate to say it. I'm not going to say, I'm going to say it. I cannot wait to see what happens tomorrow because I got a really sneaky suspicion this team's about to pull a Giants.
Yeah. And we'll talk about this once we get the key matchups, but the Chiefs have a major part of their offensive line missing.
Trey.
And it's at a position that's lined up right in front of Quinnen Williams.
Uh-oh.
And we just talked about the Cowboys have started running these 5-man fronts where they're going one-on-one with these guys. So they better get ready.
Poor Patty.
Yeah.
They'll make him a peppermint patty for the holidays.
Absolutely. So yeah, overall great game. And then you talk about the special teams play. And I mean, Amanda, you can talk about that when I talked about offensive defense. You talk about that special teams play.
Okay, so Tom Brady was sitting there. There's nothing like being a gunner in the NFL. It's probably one of the hardest positions. And we don't think about it because you're not throwing the ball, you're not catching the ball, you're not running the ball, you're not defending the pass, you're not defending a running back. But Elijah Clark, an undrafted rookie, comes in and I don't remember which Philly player it was, but he was getting the absolute crap beat out of him. Yeah. I mean, he hit the ground at least twice. And that man kept getting up, and he's the one who ultimately, we didn't get points on that turnover, but he's the man who ultimately really true change of pace, motivation right there. That was a building moment for Dallas. I ain't never seen a man with that much hustle.
Yeah.
That was, he bent and he did not break. Like, that was just so impressive. And he laid the wood. And then Trent, the long snapper recovered the fumble. Like, come on, Marcus.
Yeah.
We don't see that. That was exciting. And something else you should watch if you don't watch it is after a victory. I love watching this new thing that Shoddy has going on.
Does, yeah.
He keeps up with every sack, every touchdown, who throws it, who scores it, forced fumbles, who recovers the fumbles, and he sits there and everyone starts screaming. He'll be like, what is it? Dr. George had a touchdown. Yeah. Everybody's screaming in there. And it's like, wow, we have a culture.
Exactly.
And that's something we didn't have with Mike McCarthy. And that's quintessential to what we saw with Elijah Clark. 100%. They're playing for each other. We have a brotherhood. And I know what happened with Marshawn was absolutely devastating, but it has lit a fire under this team.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
and not to knock the former big name players we had in the past, but we all know DeMarcus Lawrence wasn't a locker room leader.
No,
we've learned that Micah wasn't a locker room leader. Sean Lee was a field general, but he wasn't a get in front of the troops and rally the troops type guy.
Right.
He was a lead by example. If you want to follow me, I'll take you there, but I'm not going to force you.
Yeah.
I don't have to talk about Jalen Smith. We've talked about that pretty much to death.
Yeah, Trevon Diggs isn't a
Trevon Diggs, right?
leader. I mean, but we've got one now. We've got a couple of them.
Yeah.
Osa has really come into his own. Overshone is
Yeah.
very vocal in that locker room. And Quinnen is so happy to be on a team that I think has a shot. Now, look,
Right.
it might not be this year, but he wanted out of New York so bad. That man, he loves being a Cowboy, and you can see it on the tape. You can see it on the field. I don't know if he was a Cowboy fan growing up or what, but that
Yeah.
man loves being a Cowboy. So
You know what's funny? He has more wins his 2 weeks in Dallas than the Jets had all season so far.
that's crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah. So I know he's definitely loving it.
And we ain't lost a game since he got here.
Exactly.
So
Yeah. I'm not talking about the talent, William Wiggins. I'm just talking
Yep.
about being a locker
voice.
room force and leader where you hold guys accountable. You're not calling guys out in the media or making little backhanded remarks going back and forth with guys. That's what I'm talking about. That's something we haven't had on this team. Whew. I can't even think of a guy.
I mean, I'd go back to almost Troy, and that's a long time.
On the I'm talking about on the defense.
Oh, on the
How far back
defense?
do you have to go?
Wow.
Maybe Brady James, off the top of my head, just the guy that I know was a vocal leader that everybody respected.
I mean, you go back to George. That's pretty far, though.
That's really far, yeah.
Really far to go back to Teague. So
yeah, I'm thinking Brady James is the last one I can really think about. Even DeMarcus Ware, as great as he wasn't a
right.
And Roy Williams was as soft spoken as they come. I'm talking about guys who are the ones that stand up in front of the locker room, and kind of hold guys accountable, like Amanda talked about Quinnen doing this in the locker room at halftime.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did hear about the Quinnen comments about Aubrey.
That
was
he
funny.
Can make that. What was it he said? There, who told him that? We just got to get a little. We just got to get past the 50, and Quinnen's like, wait, what? He can make that. He goes, I'm still. What was the comment after they said, yeah, that's butter? He said, oh, I'm new. I'm still learning my way around it. Yeah. But it's so funny. Man, this team's different this year.
Yeah, definitely different.
Yeah.
All right. So again, great hard fought matchup. We're still in it. We've put the NFL on notice. Like everybody said, we beat the defending Super Bowl champs. And now we face the team that they faced in the Super Bowl last year. So this is probably going to be, it's definitely going to be the biggest game of the year for most people because everybody's watching Dallas. Everybody's watching the Chiefs. We both have to win. And it's the only game in town.
And let me just say this, because I told Marcus, we were looking, Marcus and I, before we were in the backstage before the show started, there is a very good chance if the Cowboys win this game, they will almost, without fail, eliminate the Chiefs from playoff contention.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a few ways, but let's just say their light at the end of the tunnel becomes very, very, very dim. So.
Absolutely. William Wiggins asked the question, do you expect to play more man against the Chiefs? I would say absolutely.
Yeah.
Because we have Bland that can match up with Rashee Rice, who's their best receiver. Their other receivers are kind of one-trick ponies.
Xavier's just really fast.
But they're not
really
using him. Yeah.
Yeah. Trust me, that makes me so mad. I got him in fantasy because I'd hoped. So.
Yeah, I can see some form of cover 2-man, cover 1, playing off on Worthy because of the speed. You can press Rice a little bit in the slot.
You put Overshone on Kelsey?
They'll probably put Wilson on Kelsey because I think Overshone's going to be more of a spy guy again.
Spy for Patty?
Yeah. And Kelsey's not Kelsey anymore.
Not anymore, no.
At all. If Wilson can cover Goddard and look competent, he can definitely cover Kelsey. So I'm not concerned about that one. Kelsey's going to make his plays because he's a veteran, but that won't be a 6-catch, 95-yard game that Kelsey's used to making. So we got John Jones joins in the comments. Thank you for joining us. Said we need to play more zone. We don't have many cornerbacks and safety that can run man. I think that's changed the past 3 weeks. Carson is a man corner, Revel's a man corner, and Bland's definitely a man corner. I think we can run a little bit more man. Yeah. Plus, on top of that, we've got the
Zone.
5-man front that's humming, so they don't have to cover for 8 seconds like they had to week 2 and 3.
Well, and zone was really what got us destroyed. Just play. We went from being mainly a man team. Eberflus kind of forced us into playing zone those first few games, and it was terrible. So I think this team's more set up for man, personally.
I agree.
So
and William Winkers brings up a great point. If you watch the teams who do well against Mahomes, they're usually cover 2-man teams. For some reason, Mahomes struggles against cover 2-man, and it's been like that if you look at every game that they've lost. I think the Bengals came out and said it 2 years ago that we just ran cover 2-man and he couldn't find an answer for it.
I hope not, Jack. I'm sorry. What? I feel like he's become a cancer to this team. His attitude. I'm not a Diggs fan anymore, and that's from someone who loved Trevon Diggs. So just not a fan anymore.
Yeah.
But he can stay on IR and he can play his last game getting blown out. What game was that he and then got knocked upside the head? Or who knows what he did? I'm just I would never bring him back in a game like this. And the team's playing too well. Look what's happened since he's been on IR. I just don't understand. He had that one really, really, really good year. He got paid, and then it's very much, I hate to say it, like Zeke Elliott. Just Zeke got paid, and the downward slide started. Diggs got paid, and that's pretty much what we've gotten again. So
yeah. So John Jones brought up the point that we played more zone than man the whole season. Let me see. What do you say? We played more man than zone the whole season. Played the least amount of zone in the league. Actually, you got it backwards. We actually played the most zone in the league.
Yeah.
I pulled up the stats right here. Prior to week 11, we only played 10% man. We played 90% zone. More than a third of that was cover 3 zone, and that pretty much showed. And when we talked about how guys were getting beat deep, we pretty much showed they were running cover 3 and guys weren't covering their zone. So it's actually the opposite. They've actually been running a lot more man the past 2 weeks than zone.
Yeah, Jack Sanborn was the which, speaking of, did he go on IR? Did I miss it after the concussion or something? Did I miss that?
Oh yeah, they had to put him on IR because
okay,
we had to make space.
I clearly missed it. Well, thank goodness for that. No offense to his head. I hope he's okay. He was terrible.
No, that's one of those conversations. I mean, this team has been the masters of putting guys on IR for the past 4 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, they've definitely been doing it. So let's go ahead. Before we talk about the Eagles game, forgot to mention our player of the week for back-to-back weeks. George Pickens, 9 catches, 146 yards, and 1 touchdown. I mean, first quarter, we tried to go to Lamb. It wasn't working. And then eventually the game shifted to Pickens, and he made play after play after play after play and completely changed the look of our offense. So, yeah, George Pickens was on fire this week. Just making big plays.
Over or under, George Pickens ends up in the kettle.
If he probably would be the guy because somebody's going to do it.
That's who I see it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Uh-oh. What's up, the lunatic?
We got the lunatic joining us. Appreciate you joining us tonight. Yeah. So I mean, again, his stats this week are almost identical to last week's stats. The only
I
difference
think if he
is,
gets, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think if he gets like 80 yards, he hits a career high, and
Yeah,
he's not even done with the season. So
yeah, great season for him so far. Um, I wish I can go back and find the people who are arguing online during the off season about him.
oh man.
I told so many people he would have 1,000 yards by week 12, and they just thought there's no way.
I don't know if you remember, we had a Steelers fan pop in right after we got the trade because we did a show pretty quick after that. And a Steelers fan popped in and said, "Good luck with that problem."
Yeah,
Well, thank you.
yeah, we
Marcus and I were always on the Pickens train. So,
exactly.
man,
I've been on the Pickens train since Georgia. I was upset we didn't draft him that year.
And the lunatic's right. We're going to have to pay him. Look, but here's the difference. Micah, yeah, the difference is I really do think there's a difference. I know it's same agent. Don't get me wrong. I really think that Jerry is not going to play around with this contract.
No.
I just do not see it. Jerry Jones is like a kid in a candy store every time George Pickens makes a catch. So.
And let me just show this while we're on that point, because I keep hearing fans say there's no way we can sign him. I just want to show the contract.
Marcus broke it down for y'all.
I know it's probably kind of hard to read. See if I can make it bigger. So I just pulled up the largest contract in the NFL right now, which is Jamar Chase. 4 years, $160 million. So people say, looking at that contract, there's no way we can sign him for $35 million. So if you look at Jamar Chase's contract, $40 million a year, right? What's his base one cap hit? $23 million. That's the cap hit for year one. The franchise tag for Pickens will be 28 this year. So even assuming you make him the second highest paid wide receiver in NFL, just over CeeDee Lamb, his cap hit for that year, next year, would be less than the franchise tag. You go to year two, and this is Jamar Chase's contract, so these are real numbers. His cap hit year two is $26 million, still less than $30 million on a $40 million a year contract. Year three, the contract finally goes over $30 million. By the time he got to year three, we probably restructured year two. We probably gotten a couple of contracts off the books that are holding us down. Trayvon Diggs, Tyler's,
Well, I hate to say
Terrence
it.
Steele,
And Dak Prescott.
and Dak Prescott.
I hate to say it.
Yeah,
Because he ain't signed another $60 million a year contract. If
exactly.
Dak continues to stay, it won't be like that. I just don't see it. So
yeah, I talked about this before. If Dak wants to really keep him, he can take a pay cut and say, you got 2 years to make it happen. So by the time we get to this point, year three, when the money starts to go up, right here, Dak's gonna either be gone or he's gonna do an extension, which would take Dak's number down to 8 million. So this number is doable. By the time you get to year four, he finally hits $40 million. By this point, this is where Lamb would restructure or be gone.
right. Real quick to everybody talking about Quentin Williams, he signed through 2027.
2027.
I made a post, trust me, because people didn't understand when I made a post about Williams and Aubrey or sign Pickens. I put them; those two are one, and everyone was confused. Javonte Williams is the free agent this year, not Quentin. Quentin's here through 2027. So
yeah. So we get to year four, we finally hit 40 million. But by this point, with Amazon and YouTube and whatever other streaming software we're playing NFL games on and where we're playing across the country, by the time we get to the fourth year of that contract, the salary cap may have gone up $60 million from where we are today. And most of our high-priced guys are already signed. So when we get to this point, we will be looking at, what would that be? This year's draft. And we would be doing contracts on some of those guys or fifth year options. So you're going to be lowering cap hits on some of those guys as well, like a Tyler Booker. So once you get to year 5, where it hits $53 million, we're probably already doing another extension, or he's already gone because he'll be about 30, 31 at that time.
Right.
So even if we sign him to the second biggest contract for a wide receiver, $37 million, the numbers are going to sound pretty. Everybody's going to talk about it on the four-letter networks. But if you look at the actual cap hits, he wouldn't even crack $30 million for 3 years. So, like you said, Amanda, he's getting the Brinks truck, and it will not kill our cap.
It won't hurt us. So.
Yeah. And we talked about it last week. We have a built-in restructure with Ferguson, Bland, and Tyler Smith. Or we can cut Terrence Steele, cut or trade Terrence Steele. We can cut or trade Trayvon Diggs. The money's there. I've seen people saying, well, we're $36 million over the cap next year. 2 moves of the pen, and we're plus $10 million. Only 2 moves. We got about 6 we can make. So don't be concerned about the contract. The only question is, who tries to outbid us and how much that outbid is. I don't think you can outbid Jerry on this contract.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
And that's good for us, because if teams know we can't outbid him, they won't even try for the most part, especially if we franchise tag him, because if we franchise tag him, they have to pay him and give us draft picks. So they would have to give him a ridiculous contract to even have the opportunity to take him from our team. And there's still some off the field stuff that people around the league are concerned about in terms of missing buses in practice.
That, and every time he gets a penalty, I'm like, yeah, do it again.
Doesn't bother me.
No, I don't mind at all. It's always usually after we score, except for that one boneheaded taunting play, which was a little frustrating. But you know what? If that's what we get for a player like him, fine.
Yeah. But yeah, I understand John Jones. Yeah, I'm sure you did have it backwards. I know you definitely knew we played more zone than man. I see we got Steven Franco joining us tonight. Steven Franco, appreciate you tuning in. The lunatic, we do hold his rights. At worst, we franchise tag him. We're definitely franchise tagging him. He may be upset. I don't think he'll be upset about that, because he's only made $4 million for his career, and he gets a check for $28 million. I think worst case scenario, we franchise tag him. I don't see how we don't sign him to a contract with the flexibility we have. The cap may go up $17 million this year. I don't know if you heard that. So we may get an extra 17 on the cap because of that. What is it? Peacock money? Yeah. The Peacock money should hit this year. So the cap may go up $17 million. So we're in a good position. Absolutely.
Then Netflix pays them too, because they got another.
Yeah, Netflix too. Yeah, that Netflix money kicks in too.
It's going up.
Yep. All right, guys.
Don't get me wrong. I can't stand all these streaming services, but it's beneficial for the cap.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Thank you guys for sticking with us so far. We're at 50 minutes. We're going to go through these quick. So we got some key matchups for you guys. We got some X factors in this week's game. And then at the end of the show, we're going to hit you guys with some over-unders to get your thoughts on some key statistics that could happen. So let's go ahead and start off this week's matchup with some key matchups.
Key matchups.
To me, the first and biggest key matchup in this game is the rookie versus the veteran. And that is Brian Schottenheimer. First Thanksgiving game as a head coach. going against the wily old seasoned vet and Andy Reid in a primetime game. These two offensive minded guys. Schottenheimer has that same type of, to me, that same type of environment that he's built for the team. But again, comes down to X's and O's. Andy Reid is links and bounds ahead of him. But yeah, absolutely, I agree with that. When it comes down to X's and O's, Andy Reid definitely has the heads up on him.
I just don't think he has the better team this year.
Yeah, you're right, the lunatic. At least 17 million. And William Wiggins saying he's paying hella fines this year. That's another thing people don't talk about.
Jerry pays him.
that as well. But next year, even though he has this contract, it's going to be a lot of stipulations in there that the numbers may look big, but he may not hit those numbers because of off the field antics. Like for a regular player, if you miss a practice, if you late to a meeting, the penalty may be $5,000. For him, it might be 50. You never know.
Yeah.
So stuff like that's going to come into effect as well. So to me, this is going to be the biggest matchup of the game. If unfortunately, if we get down in this game and Andy Reid's ahead, this is a different type of head coach that's going to make the adjustments to keep the game the way he wants it. So we definitely need Schottenheimer to be on his best to make sure that he can at least match energies. All right, so let's go to some of the on-field key matchups. Got quite a few to look at. So we'll start on the offensive side of the ball first. And we'll go Tyler Booker just faced against Jalen Carter. In this week's game, he gets Chris Jones. So he goes from bad to worse for him because Chris Jones has been playing at an elite level when they're winning. When they're losing, he tends to kind of check out of games. But he definitely is an explosive player, knows how to play the position well. Tyler Booker better be ready to step up on this one. This one's going to be important for the Chiefs to keep it close because they don't have the weapons to keep us at bay anywhere else. And as I talk about that, we'll go to another offensive matchup where the Chiefs actually do play a lot of man. And their best cornerback is 5'10" Trent McDuffie. And he travels. He travels with receivers. So he's going to be following George Pickens on the boundaries. He's really good at playing the ball in the air, but he's giving up 4 to 5 inches in height, a lot of vertical, and George Pickens is not even arguably, he's the best 50-50 receiver in the league right now. So this is definitely going to be a great matchup to pay attention to as the game progresses on, because they do not help Trent McDuffie at all. They let him do what he does. All right, so going to the defensive side of the ball. Got one more offensive key matchup because we got Tyler Guyton out. Nathan Thomas is stepping in. Is this his second game starting, like from the beginning? I know.
I want to say he started twice, didn't he? Because Guyton was out before.
That's what I thought. I thought this was his second start.
Man, because was there someone else who took his place though? Instead, I'm trying to remember.
No, it was Guyton. I mean, it was Thomas. Yeah. So yeah, Nathan Thomas stepping in. Yeah,
he'll be okay.
Yeah, George Karlaftis is their best pass rusher. He's one of those high motor guys, so it's definitely going to be a fist fight over there. Karlaftis is not the most athletic, but he's a smart player. He's a crafty player. He's a high energy guy who makes plays with a ton of effort. And this is going to be a street fight on their side of the ball. So definitely want to pay attention to with the young tackle playing against George Karlaftis. Just like the lunatic said, yeah, it was a tough matchup for Booker. Is that me?
I'm not sure.
Did you hit a button or anything?
Not that I know
Okay.
of.
I don't know what happened. All right, let's go ahead and keep it moving. Let's go to the defensive side of the ball. So we talked about their big matchup on the line. Let's talk about ours. Quentin Williams
Poor
going
guy.
against backup guard Jalen Moore in his first career NFL start.
And he's a rookie, isn't he? Yeah.
He's a young. I don't know if he's a rookie. He's a young guy. I have to look, but he's definitely in his first start. Trey Smith is their best offensive lineman. Creed second best behind Creed Humphrey, but you go from, to me, your arguably your best offensive lineman to a backup young guy in his first start going against Quentin Williams one-on-one because of how we play. It's gonna be a long day for this young man. So this is definitely gonna be a key matchup that can make the difference in the game. Mahomes struggles with pressure in his face. Our edges have been doing a good job of containing. So it's not going to be a lot of dancing around, hopefully. They've been doing a good job of rallying to the ball, so definitely got to pay attention to that one. Jay Moore scrub number 1, as Vach says. Yeah, this guy's definitely going to be in for a long day on Thanksgiving going against Quentin Williams. And like the lunatic said about Nathan Thomas, he will have help. It's hard to help a guard on the inside, especially when you're playing a 5-man front and all the other linemen have a guy in front of them. You can hope the running back can chip, but you can't rely on it.
I wonder, are you talking about maybe putting Hunter up there to help pick up some problems, maybe?
No, I'm talking about for the Chiefs. It's going to be hard for them to chip on the inside.
Yeah.
Because we've been running a lot of 12 personnel this year, so we've been running 2 tackles quite a bit, or 2 tight ends. So we can help Nathan Thomas with our 12 personnel with 2 tight ends. It's hard to help a guard on the inside, especially how we've been running our defense lately.
Jack, my concern with that is I swear they protect Patrick. You got to put a traffic cone down and lay him down gingerly before you hit the man.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. This is going to be one of those games where we're going to have to be extremely efficient and technically sound because flags will fly very quickly.
Yep, absolutely.
I'm not being conspiracy theorist here. It's just the way, I don't know what it is, but for some reason, certain teams get more flags than the other.
Yeah. So we talked about these two earlier in the show. Like I said before, the way we've been running defense, Logan Wilson has been kind of covering the tight ends. He was covering Brock Bowers week 1, his first week here. Last week he was playing pretty heavily on Goddard. This week he gets Travis Kelce. To be honest, this might be his easiest matchup because Travis Kelce is not the Travis Kelce we think of when we think of how he plays. Let's look at Travis Kelce's stats so far this year.
It's been up and down, and I know because I have him in fantasy because that was all I was left with. He's had some good games, but he's also playing. I wouldn't say scared, but I would almost say that the age is starting to affect him because you can notice in the way he goes to take his hits. He plays gingerly. I guess that's the good word.
He's going old man Jason Witten where he catches the ball and either goes straight down or goes straight to the sideline.
Yeah, I mean, he's had some decent breakaways and he tried to jump over somebody and that was hilarious because Travis ain't got hops. And I don't know, maybe he was trying to impress somebody in the audience. I don't know, but it was hilarious because he couldn't get up there. He just fell almost flat on his face.
Yeah.
I think Logan will do fine. I've actually been pretty impressed. Everyone was concerned bringing Logan Wilson over here because he was benched by the Bengals, but it's like he was benched because he was telling him this ain't it. So,
Yeah. And he's a big linebacker too. 6'3",
yeah, yeah.
245. So he doesn't give up much in terms of size to Travis Kelce or athleticism. He's younger. Talked about it before with the way we run our defense. He has to cover a little bit less than usual. Kelce will make his possession catches, but it's not going to be him breaking away 20, 30 yards, anything like that.
Jack.
I didn't even think about that.
I have a very bold look. I'm going to throw this out there. Jerry Jones made a comment a few weeks ago about her, and he mentioned that he mentioned how much he liked her, which was very bizarre to me. I think Jerry might be trying to coax her into playing at Thanksgiving or at halftime because she's got a song with Post Malone. And so I've had this theory that if Jerry really wanted to kind of say, yeah, look at me, NFL, y'all couldn't get her for the Super Bowl, but look what I did. I don't think so because she says she doesn't want to at the same time. So, but I do hope they don't. They have been not showing her, to be honest. Like one times it's chilled a lot, but she also might not even be there because security stuff. So who knows? But we can hope not.
And you know what? The lunatic brings up a great point. I talked about this earlier in the show. The Bengals have historically had great success against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I think Joe Burrow's 3-1 against the Chiefs? 2-1, 3-1, something like that.
I think so. 2-1.
A lot of that is because of how the Bengals play defense. And like the lunatic said, Logan Wilson was a big part of those teams that played against the Chiefs. So he definitely knows about the blueprint, and he's seen quite a bit of Travis Kelce and knows how to play against them.
That's good. See, I didn't even think about that, but you're right. Heck, that's yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think about that either until the lunatic brought it up. So thanks, the lunatic. Appreciate that. And it is 3-1. So yeah, this is going to be a really good matchup. But this is probably going to be the biggest matchup in terms of their offense. Rashee Rice, who's getting 12 targets a game since he's come back from injury, who's probably going to be locked up exclusively against Deron Bland. Rashee Rice mostly plays in the slot, so we'll probably see a lot of Bland in the slot against him. Rice has gotten 12 targets every game since he's played. He's gotten at least 6 catches in every game he's played in. So he's going to be getting a lot of targets. And it really comes down to, can you stop him? He had a great game last week, but Sauce Gardner doesn't go in the slot. So Rashee Rice was just taking advantage of the Colts nickel. We actually have a real nickel in the slot. So we got to see if these other guys can step up and make something happen for the Chiefs. All right. So I think that's pretty much all of the key matchups I have. Oh, I got one more. Donovan Ezeraku versus Kingsley Suamataia. The Chiefs' young left tackle. I believe these guys played in college as well. Ezeraku got the best of them in those matchups. Suamataia, as well as their other tackle, they have major problems versus speed. When they go against speed rushers, they get a ton of false starts. They have a bunch of illegal formations because they're trying to cheat and come off the line of scrimmage a little bit. So this matchup, if Ezeraku can get off, it's going to cause the Chiefs a bunch of problems because their tackles have a ton of problems against speed rushers. And again, going back to sounds of the sideline, you see Quinnen Williams giving Ezeraku those little nuggets of confidence, those little tips during the game. I think he's going to be in his ear like, hey, this is your game. If you want to make a name for yourself, this is the game to do it in. If you're a betting person, I would not be opposed to betting on 1 sack for Donovan Ezeraku in this game. The Lunatic says KC passes 80% of offensive plays so far. We're getting pressure with 4 rushers. Hopefully our corners can get takeaways. And Jack Meeker saying EZ has erupted the past 2 games. Yeah, he's getting one-on-one matchups. All right, so let's go ahead and go into our last 2 segments of the show. So for those of you who are still with us, next segment is X Factors. I only have 2 X Factors I'm paying attention to in this game because just watching the tape, I think these guys have some opportunities. I have 1 for the Cowboys. I have 1 for the Chiefs. So we'll go to the Chiefs first. Their running backs have an opportunity to be X Factors in this game. Our run defense has been amazing the past 2 weeks with Quentin Williams in the inside. But on the reverse of that, the Chiefs have really they haven't been successful in the run game, but they have been effective. Their number 1 running back, Pacheco's been hurt for most of the year. This is going to be his first game back in like 3 weeks. And then if you look at the Chiefs' backup running back, what's his name? Former Cleveland Brown. Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt leads the NFL in 3rd down and goal line success rates. So if it's 3rd and 3 or less, he has converted more first downs and more touchdowns than any running back in the NFL. So that's definitely something you got to pay attention to. He's a major part of them converting short yardage 3rd downs. Last week he had a really good game against the Colts. He had 30 carries for 104 yards. He's really good out of the backfield. Both of these backs are. So I think we have a good chance to lock up their wide receivers. I think the tight ends gonna have some success, but not be a game changer. Their running backs have an opportunity to really make something happen. And then the Lunatic throwing out the shots with Kareem Hunt. So then we go to the Cowboys X Factor. And this one, Kevontae Turpin, had the fumble last week. I don't know if you're aware of this, Amanda, but the Chiefs have the 2nd worst special teams in NFL. They give up the 2nd. They give up the 2nd most return yards on special teams in NFL.
Well, maybe he's going to get him one.
If there's ever a game, prime time, bright lights, this is the game to do it in. So I'm expecting Turpin to have at least 1 big return getting the ball inside the 40-yard line or maybe a touchdown. But I expect 1 big one because their special team have been struggling on punt and kick all year. So this is definitely one to pay attention to with Kevontae Turpin on the kickoff and punt return games. And it's Turkey Day. So, yeah, this will be the game that it happens in. All right, so I only got those 2 key matchups. We're at 1 hour and 10 minutes. Going to get you guys out of here before 10 p.m. Central so you can enjoy the rest of your night, get ready for tomorrow. So let's go into our last segment of the show, which is over under.
Over under.
Segment of the show. I have 4 statistics. I want you guys to let me know whether or not you think that player goes over or under. And of course, the last statistic is always an either or. Who's going to get the most of a certain stat? So I just talked about X factors with the Chiefs running backs. Over under 40 rushing yards for either running back. If I'm not mistaken, we have not given up 40 yards rushing the past 2 weeks.
I thought Saquon got 63.
Was it 63?
Yeah. But I'm going to go under here because
no, it was 60. You're right. It should have been over under 60. Well, the average would be 40 because we shut down Genty.
With Trey out, absolutely not.
Okay. All right, so neither running back gets more than 40 yards rushing.
That's right, lunatic. See, he knows.
Yeah.
That's a big powerhouse on their line. That is, I feel so bad for Patrick Mahomes.
Mm-hmm. Got a lot
Not
of unders.
really. Kermit will be fine. He'll be fine.
Yeah. I'm right there with you guys. Both of these running backs are inside zone runners, so they rely heavily on guard blocking. The strength of the Chiefs' offense is guard, center, guard, particularly that side of the line. I think I saw a statistic. They said they run like 58% of their rushes behind that Trey Smith side.
Yeah.
So you take that out, I'm going under as well. Yeah, front is stout, got good linebackers. Kareem Hunt's been the most successful, but he's not the most explosive, so we can get to him early. I don't know if Pacheco's healthy. I know he's playing.
Yeah, he's got that MCL sprain.
Yeah.
Oh, and they just dropped, apparently a few hours ago, they dropped their quarterback rankings moving into week 13.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen it?
Mm-mm.
Matt Stafford's number 1, Drake May's number 2, and then
Okay.
somebody jumped up 3 spots. This is the NFL rankings.
Okay.
Someone jumped up over Josh Allen, over Patrick Mahomes, over Herbert, over Daniel Jones, Sam Darnold, Jalen Hurts, and who else? I don't know who rounds out the 10. But anyways, that would be Dak Prescott as the 3rd best quarterback in the league right now by NFL
Okay.
stats. So
I mean, I don't know how he hasn't been all year, but
I know.
I guess we just have to appreciate that they finally caught on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know. Great point to Lunatic. I think Quentin Williams gonna have a great game this game. This will probably be the biggest game he's ever played in.
Yeah, he told me he used to watch those kinds of games.
Uh-huh.
And that's another thing too. One thing I have to give Patrick Mahomes has been wanting to play a Thanksgiving game. He hadn't had one.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's his first Thanksgiving game.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So he's pretty excited too. So it'll be an interesting, but the dynasty's ended. So what it has. Then I'm right on home.
Yeah. All right. Next over under. We just talked about Rashee Rice being guarded by Deron Bland. He's been getting 12 targets a game pretty much since he's returned from injury. Last week he lit up the Chiefs. He lit up the Colts for over 100 yards. He's had 80 yards or more 4 of the last 5 games. So over under 80 receiving yards for Rashee Rice. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Over under 80 receiving yards for Rashee Rice.
Under.
All right, Jack says over. The Lunatic saying Bland gets that pick this week. I can definitely see it because Mahomes does get happy feet.
Yep.
All right,
That
Amanda.
one game he had 3 interceptions in one game. So it's not. I don't think he's going over. I think that rush is going to get to Patty, and he's going to make a lot of really stupid throws.
You're on the island on this one, Amanda. Looks like
I'm gonna take
everybody's
the
going
island.
over. Everybody's saying over.
I'm on the island. Call me Trevon Diggs 3 years ago.
This was close. I think I'm kind of with John Jones. I think it's over. I think it'll be between 80 and 100. I don't see that as being like a major effect on the game, but I can definitely see him getting a ton of targets because they have to move the ball, and I think he's their best option. All right. Next over under. Talking about receivers, George Pickens. Pickens has gone 140 yards in back-to-back games over the past 5 weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Over the past 6 weeks, he's gone over 80 5 times. The one game he didn't go over 80, he had 78. And 3 of the past 6, he's had over 100 yards. So over under 100 yards this week, George Pickens. And people cannot wait to say over. Ashley Rollins Jacobs with the all caps over, followed by John Jones with the all caps over. Everybody else is saying over on this one as well. Third straight 100+ game for John Jones. The Lunatic saying under, but a couple of pass interference calls. Charlie has them going under as well. I'm torn on this one. I think just because they play so much man with Kansas City, I think he's going to have a bunch of opportunities to make some plays. So, yeah, I think he goes over on this one also. The only way he doesn't go over is if this becomes a CeeDee Lamb game.
Do you think they're going to – well, Shoddy said that we're going to throw the ball a lot to CeeDee Lamb. It seemed very off. I was so thrown off by the words that came out of his mouth. I'm like, is this like a mind game, Shoddy? But, that game that – what was it? Was it week 2 that yeah, because Lamb had the drops week 1 against Philly. Yeah. And then he had a very big game week 2. So it's very possible that Lamb does step into that spotlight. And Pickens, they're so close. Pickens might actually play the decoy in order to build the confidence up of his teammate.
Mm-hmm. And
because I don't see him as a selfish guy.
Yeah. I'm looking right now. The Chiefs starting nickelback is injured, and his replacement is a 3rd-round rookie from this year. So Lamb may have some opportunities.
My fantasy team needs him to. So I'm playing for the playoffs. I've got to win this week.
See, that was going to be
Rika.
Charlie says, I think they'll double him a lot. Also, they're going to feed Lamb. So Charlie and Jack Meek are kind of on the same page. This might be a Lamb game. Defenses have been playing 88 as wide receiver when they switched to George Pickens. We'll just see since 88. We'll just see the 88 since we drafted him. Rika coming in. Thank you for joining us, Rika. Over for Pickens. I would love to be at their house on Thanksgiving to watch them watch the game together.
Every time
that would be entertaining.
I can see Rika with the notepad keeping up with how many yards, just waiting. I told you it was going to be 100.
John Jones said, let's do an off-the-wall under for Lamb. Yeah, appreciate you tuning in, Rika. All right, so we got one more over-under, and this one is probably the most obvious I've ever done. The big matchup. Patrick Mahomes, Dak Prescott. Who has more passing yards? I believe Dak is on a streak, if I'm not mistaken, of 240 yards or more. Is it 240 or 220? There's some streak he can hit this week. But he had 350 last week. He's had 250 or more every game this year except one. Okay, yeah, I thought it was 240. I thought there was some streak he could beat this week. So, yeah. If he gets more than 240, he'll break the franchise record for most 240-yard games. He's had 240 every game except one. And that one game was that Broncos game. Mahomes hasn't had as much success. So over-under, I mean, not over-under. Well, over-under stat, who has more passing yards? Amanda, you brought it up. Patrick Mahomes' first Thanksgiving game. He wants to show out. He's had 250 yards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's had 250 yards 10 out of 12 games. Dak, 11 out of 12. What are your thoughts? Who has more passing yards?
Well, man, I want to say Dak. Look, I want to say Dak, but I actually I have to give credit to the Lunatic because I think he's right. I think the Chiefs are going to play catch up.
Okay. Okay, a lot of people saying Dak. 240, Dak. Yeah, the lunatic, great point. John Jones saying that this will be his third game with over 300.
Yeah, I think they're both going to have big games, but I think Patty will be playing. Then again, he might be playing hero ball a little too much.
Uh-huh.
They both can get a little wild with the way they throw when they're behind. Dak didn't this last game. He got more locked in, which was very, very nice to see. But I think Patty's going to be stressed trying to figure it out, and he might just be dumping it off to get the ball out of his hands before
That's
he
a good
gets
point.
rocked. So
Yeah. I think I'm leaning Dak on this one. It's going to be close because we have the better running game.
Yeah.
I think special teams are going to come into effect, and I can see a situation where they're going shot for shot, and Mahomes has to rely on his arm to make it happen. So I think it's really going to be close, but I'll probably give it to Mahomes for that reason. But yeah, got a great game tomorrow. A great slate of games.
yeah.
Starting off with the Packers and Lions. Then you got the Cowboys game, and then who's playing that night?
Man.
Is it the Ravens?
Um.
I'm pulling it up right now. It is the Bengals versus Ravens. Joe Burrow's first game back
First
this year.
impact
Yeah.
with Higgins out.
And then Friday, you got the Bears at Eagles. So you'll get a chance to see
Man, I
if
hope
the
they win.
Eagles are imploding or not. So I'll be
Wouldn't
paying
that
close attention to that game.
wouldn't that be great?
That would be amazing if the Bears can go in there and just dominate them. And they can. So yeah, great slate of football. Cowboys sandwich right in the middle. Hopefully, when I'm hitting my second plate, that turkey will still taste good by halftime. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this game progresses.
Man, so my son, he has to work tomorrow, so he gets off at 4, and I was like, I will, because the way my house is set up, the TV rotates and stuff, so I can watch. I said, look, I'll have dinner. We'll have dinner warm. I'm not going to serve it till you get home. I said, but we might not be eating till 8. I might get distracted at some points. It depends how the game goes. I might burn the mac and cheese or something. There's a lot of stress on a mama trying to cook dinner during a football game.
Oh, absolutely. I can only imagine. That's why my family eats early because we all watch the Cowboys game. So we eat at 12.
We typically eat early too, but with him, yeah, I gotta make sure, want to make sure he's here. So doing it late this year.
Okay.
Hopefully the turkey tastes good.
I know.
Oh man.
All right, guys. That's pretty much all we have for this week's show. Hour 24 minutes. The views were consistent. So thank you guys who were joining us. Everybody on X, thank you for joining as always. Appreciate you guys checking in. And for those of you watching on Facebook and YouTube, appreciate the comments. You guys killed it again tonight. Thank you guys for keeping the show flowing. Great questions, great comments, great feedback. Looking forward to seeing an amazing game tomorrow. Hope you guys enjoy your Thanksgiving. Appreciate you tuning in. Amanda, any last words before we get out of here?
Let's see. Make sure you jump into the DC for L group. We've got our season-long giveaway. We post it every week, every game. We got a question you answer. Closest to the getting the right answer gets entered, and it's usually for a signed jersey or something cool. Marcus and I still need to get to 1,000 subs on YouTube. So just like make everyone subscribe so I can give away this full-size helmet. And man,
all you guys on Facebook, go over to YouTube, hit that subscribe button, help us get there.
Yes, you got to get us there so we can give this helmet away. And I guess other than that, have a wonderful Thanksgiving, Marcus.
Yeah, same to you and your family.
Yes, of course. And everyone out there, thank y'all for rocking with us, the night before Thanksgiving. Y'all are here every week. We appreciate y'all. So
yeah. And for those of you that are watching for the first time, you can catch us every Wednesday night, 8:30 Central Standard Time for the Fifth Quarter Podcast. Hopefully we'll be celebrating a third consecutive Victory Wednesday next week. And we'll be looking ahead to a big game against the Detroit Lions and Dan Quinn at Detroit. So
Dan Campbell.
Dan Campbell. Yeah, Dan Campbell. Thank you.
No
Yeah.
worries.
Another great Thursday night game to look forward to on our path to try to get one of these playoff spots. So
On the run.
every week is going to be a playoff type atmosphere with the Cowboys. Got a lot of great matchups the next 3 weeks, closing the season out. So yeah, make sure you guys continue to watch us, continue to watch the Cowboys. Always represent, and as always, let's go Cowboys. We will see you guys next week. Everybody have a good night.
You too. Happy Thanksgiving.
All right.